What's up, party people?
Yeah.
Are y'all having fun today?
Yes.
Yeah? Cool, me too. Well, first off, I'd like to say thank you to Webflow for having me. I really appreciate that. I also want to say how grateful I am to be part of this community. You guys are awesome. I've had the pleasure to meet a lot of you over the years, and hearing the stories and connecting with people makes it all the more exceptional because not only you get to relate, but it's great to feel part of something when we're all in it together. Which is why I come to you with a very important message today. We're all gonna die. You're gonna die. You're gonna die. You're definitely gonna die. I'm gonna die. It's a simple fact. Our day will come, which means our time here is short-lived and precious. We all know it, yet we often take it for granted, wasting time and energy on stupid, damaging, pointless things. Not cool. Yes, today will be filled with interesting talks about new product features and technical know-how, but this isn't one of them. Nope. For all you creative minds, you designers, you innovative geniuses, even you, Nelson, I want all of us to take a step back and just realize that our success, whatever your definition is, it relies on so much more than just the tools, the process, the craft. But before we dig into this, who here has absolutely no idea who I am or what I do? There's a few people, I like it. Well, my name is Jonathan Morin. I'm a designer from Montreal, Canada. I am the founder and face of Joe Moore Design, an independent design practice focused on high-end digital experiences. And today I'm here to talk to you about life, how funny life can be, and how, yeah, that's it, I guess. I thought I'd use my story and my experiences as something that is part cautionary tale, part motivational tool for you. Essentially, I want you to be attuned to what's going on around you so that you can spot those teachable moments, those critical moments where you should learn, make changes, or just bet on yourself. So I think it's pretty accessible no matter who you are or what job you do. I think it applies. Because we can all look back at a few random moments that seem trivial at the time, but turned out to play huge defining roles in our lives. When I look back on mine, I think about all those little nudges that got me here, all those nudges that were necessary stepping stones towards this latest version of myself. One of them was in 2012. I got fired for the first time in my life. Why, you ask? Because I sucked, that's why. I was working as a project manager at this web agency, despite the fact that I knew nothing about websites. I came from a graphic design background, so yeah, websites were not my thing. But honestly, I never made the effort to make it my thing, and that was my biggest mistake. I just thought, well, I got the job, so things will just work themselves out like that. No, you have to do the work. There's no substitute for that. You really have to do the work. So I wasted an opportunity because I didn't. It's that simple. And getting laid off forces you to reassess, right? So after a little bit of soul searching, I realized that I'm not a PM. I'm a designer. That's just what I do. And two, I still want to work with clients, like directly. I really enjoy that. So I said, I'm going to start my own thing, which at the time was doing graphic design stuff, right? I said, I'm going to put my head down, work my ass off, and I'm going to make this thing work. And it was fun. There was definitely some uncertainty at first, but it felt good to bet on myself. And I did that for about 3 years before dipping my toes into the web pool. And then I stumbled upon, well, maybe you've heard of it. It's called Webflow. Man, Webflow was very intimidating at first for someone like myself. But I did something that turned out to be crucial in my story. And I realized today just how big that moment really was. What I did is I said to a friend of mine, well, I used accountability, not by design, by mistake. I said to a friend of mine, you know that Webflow tool? Well, guess what? I'm going to learn it, and I'm going to start making websites with it. You watch. And the simple fact that I said that to one person, really, it kind of triggered that whole accountability mechanism within me. And it just worked because I didn't want to lose face by just giving up. I know it's silly, but yeah, accountability, use it. It's powerful stuff. So in 2016, I started learning Webflow, and early on, I did a lot of projects for very little, sometimes no money at all. I just wanted to learn and become better at that whole thing because, sure, I had graphic design experience, but the web thing still was new. And if you're currently at that stage in your career, don't feel bad about not charging the big bucks. We all got to start somewhere. But what I'd recommend doing is making the most out of your time. And what I mean by this is, if you're going to put in the hours anyway, why not use this time to help people who might need it? You know, friends, family members, nonprofits, bands. I'm a big fan of learning by doing, and that's when you should do it, right? When the stakes are low, when there's not a ton on the line. As long as you're upfront with everyone involved, people can still benefit from your developing skills. This is something I did when I started out with Webflow. A few years back, I did a website on Wix for my uncle's company. He owns a pressure washing company. They clean sidewalks, building exteriors and such. And the website I made him wasn't good, let's be honest. So I made him this proposition. I said, look, I'm learning this new tool, and I'd like to make you a brand new website with it. I'll do it free of charge, and I guarantee it's going to be an upgrade from what you currently have. So we did, and it was indeed a big upgrade for them. And I got to learn a ton in the process, so win-win. So if you're just starting out, use this time to improve on every facet on the craft, sure. But the beauty of practicing with actual client projects is you also learn all the business soft skills. So you learn how to handle feedback, how to conduct a meeting, how to sell your ideas, and all that. Anyway, while I was working on this particular website, I was looking for a way to drive the point home that if you have a graffiti on your wall, this company can make it look like it never existed. So I came up with a satisfying page scrolling interaction. And this was my very first taste of Webflow interaction. And when I saw that, I lost my shit. Are you kidding me? This is insane. I was so excited, and my client was too. That moment was such a big nudge for me because it really tapped into my hunger for original interactivity with a smidge of shock value. I was instantly hooked. And after a while, I was getting comfortable with the tool, so I said, I'm going to make myself a new portfolio. This is what it looked like. Admittedly, it's not great, but it caught the attention of a certain someone who then sent me this email. Hi, I just landed on your site and wanted to let you know that we've been working on a brand new Webflow expert site where we will showcase the top freelancers and agencies. Let me know if you're interested. I was. And that was from, you know, back when the company was like 7 people? That moment gave me motivation for months. It was another one of those moments where, you know, you're getting confirmation from an external source that you're doing all right. And when you get that, whenever you get a compliment or a pat on the back, use it. Use that motivational fuel. You so need that because you won't get it very often. So when you do, don't waste it. Life is hard enough. If you get the tiny bit of wind in your sails, enjoy it. Then a few weeks later, I'm hanging out with a friend of mine who you might know. His name is Louis Paquet. Louis is an amazing designer with a ton of experience. He even teaches design students. So obviously, I looked up to him in a professional sense. And that night, we were having drinks, a lot of drinks, talking about life and work, and we also talked about awards. And I was telling him how I thought it was cool that he won multiple times, but that I couldn't because I wasn't good enough, or at least I wasn't there yet. After all, I use Webflow. Ew. And later in the night, he said, just do it. Submit your site and see what happens. And the fact that he said that in the most casual way possible was like a slap in the face. Like, wake up, dummy. There's nothing more to it. Just do it. He's giving you the green light. So the following day I did, even though I was nervous and ashamed of my work, if I'm being completely honest. But then I got this. And that really took me by surprise. Like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe my work is not that bad after all. The thing is, we don't need to get those metaphorical green lights from anyone else. We have the ability to do it. We can do whatever we want. We're in control. We must recognize that and find the courage to do so. Speaking of awards, in 2020, they reached out to me because they wanted me to do a course for their new upcoming Awards Academy, something that we're going to release soon. And my response was, why? I'm no educator. That's not what I do. There's already so many good resources out there anyway. Why would people care about what I have to say? I'm not special. I'm nobody. You know, positive stuff. So I turned it down, not because I had a good reason, but simply because I rationalized myself into thinking, it's not for me. And sadly, we all do that. We all have our excuses not to do stuff sometimes. But our excuses are not necessarily rooted in reality. We simply shape the narrative to justify our behaviors. It sucks, but we do. So the following summer, exactly 1 year later, I'm at the beach with my family, just hanging out. And I get this email. Guess what? It's awards asking me again if I want to do a course for the academy. But at that point, I'm very much aware of all the bullshit excuses I was telling myself the first time around. So I turned to my wife, her, and I said, I think I need to do this. So I just did. And today I'm very happy about that. The course did very well. I've got a ton of great feedback from students that it helped. And I even discovered this new side of myself that is now part of my toolbox. Like a lot of what I learned in the making process now carries over onto other parts of my professional life. I've even gone out of my comfort zone to shoot a very intimate trailer to promote the course. Fun fact, that's actually not my ass. Nope. For this, we hired a very famous butt double. His name is Vlad Magdalene. We're different heights, but we have similar cheeks, so it all worked out. When we're faced with a challenge, an opportunity, a difficult decision, always remember that in order to grow, in order to reach that next level, you need to push past what is convenient. You need to get uncomfortable. It's going to be unpleasant for a bit, but it's nothing you can't handle. And you'll come out the other end feeling proud of yourself. Trust me. Like me. Lately, I've been doing some speaking gigs like this one. And the first time I was asked to do one, I didn't want to do it. The same old excuses were there, waiting for me. But thanks to what I've learned over the years, I was able to just shut them down, just like that, and accept the challenge, because I know that this initial resistance we feel, it's not real. It's all made up. And I'm not saying that you should just say yes blindly to every opportunity coming your way, but try to look at those forks in the road with an objective eye. Don't just give in to your familiar reflexes because it feels better. You really got to push yourself, and this pattern of forcing yourself to do stuff you don't want to do over and over again, it becomes exponential. I mean, all the benefits you get from it has that compounding effect. So each time you do it, it becomes easier and easier and easier. That was also true when I was learning Webflow. I really needed to push myself if I wanted to get to a place where it started to feel effortless. And it was hard, really hard, but there's no denying the huge role Webflow played in my development. It helped me so much. I don't want to get too cheesy, but Webflow changed my life. It really did. Just like I know it did for a lot of you. It's a part of myself. So much so that earlier this year, at the awards conference in Toronto, a bunch of us were having drinks with the Webflow team the very last night of the conference. And we started to talk about tattoos and about how cool but expensive they are. And jokingly talked about getting Webflow tattoos. So when Emily rejoined the group a few minutes later, we said something like, "Hey, Emily, if we wanted to get some Webflow tattoos tonight, would Webflow pay for that?" And she said, without missing a beat, "If you guys want to get Webflow tattoos tonight, we'll absolutely pay for that." What do you do?
Got a wife at home, but you steady on my line. Talking about shorty. You remember when I grind slow? Did I really blow your mind though? Nah, you got me confused with your other booze. I've been peep game, so I never gave a cookie.
It was fun. On that night, we said, you know what, fuck it. Let's make some memories. And we should, at least every once in a while. And that's it. So was there any advice or lessons in here that were 100% new to you, like concept you've never heard about before in your life? I doubt it. But knowing and doing are two very different things. So please, don't be afraid to take chances and try new things, okay? And to help you with that, I'm very excited to announce that we have a special surprise for each and every one of you here today. This is kind of a big deal. We had to pull some strings, but we were able to pull it off. This is intense. Okay, let's just do it. Right now, everyone in here, you can go ahead and reach under your seat, and you'll find nothing. There's... Come on. But you didn't know that. You took a chance. And sometimes that's all it takes. Trust me, if you want to advance in life, you need to be on the lookout and open to new opportunities. And then make the most of them. Because remember, we'll all be dead soon. Thanks a lot, everyone. It's been great.